This episode of Brains on Games is all about quick matching games. Welcome to Brains on Games. I'm Dr. Brian McDonald, and like I said earlier, this episode we're going to talk about a couple of quick matching games, both of them sent to me in that big parcel that I got a few weeks ago from Foxmind. The first one is a matching game with a bit of a superhero style to it called Kabammm. Now, Kabammm is a game that can be played with between 2 and 6 players, so you can have a bit of a bigger group for this one. It works with kids aged 7 and up, and you can play a game in about 15 minutes. Let's take a look at Kabammm. So you can see what I've put here in the middle of, hopefully in the middle of your screen. I can't really see what you're seeing, but in the middle of the screen, there's this card that has symbols all around it. And they're sort of comic book style symbols. It's divided up in panels. Each player is going to have a color with a sort of a superhero phrase on it. It's sort of like those 60s Batman style title cards that pop up when they're in the middle of a fight. So you've got a word in the middle of this puzzle card, and each player has their own superhero word that they might say when they make a match. Every player starts the game with 8 of their own puzzles. So you've got a little deck of your own puzzles. The idea is you're trying to be the first one to get rid of these cards. How do you get rid of the cards? Well, you flip this card over, and then everyone is going to be scrambling to find 2 symbols on the outside of their card. You see that we have these double-sided cards. You're going to be scrambling to find 2 symbols on the outside of your card that will match the symbols on the card in the middle of the table. So in this case, you might, oh, look at that. In this case, you might put your puzzle here like this, and you've made a match. As you slam that down, you're going to say the word wham, because that shows that you're the one. It's sort of a fun part of the game, is that you're shouting out these superhero phrases. So you shout the word wham, you slam down your card on the puzzle. People might double check to make sure that your answer was right. You've gotten rid of that card. Now, if you are able to match a color that is the color of your superhero card that you have in front of you, you can say wham, and then you can say zing, and then you get to get rid of an extra card. If you're able to match all 3 symbols, this doesn't work here, but if you were able to match all 3 symbols, you get to get rid of 2 extra cards. So you're really racing. Everyone's racing at the same time to be the first one to find a I found this so hard to do. I was racing with my son, and he was way faster. His reaction time is way faster than mine. Obviously, what you're doing here, it's a speed, like I haven't talked a lot about reaction time games that are played simultaneously like this. I think Pit Crew was probably the last one, and Wallamapi was another one that I talked about a while back. But this is all about rapid visual processing speed. You're just quickly trying to find matching symbols, like as fast as you can, in order to be the first one to get rid of your card. Gradually, the tableau will build up, and you'll have more options to choose from. You'll be looking at all of the symbols that are on the table at the same time and trying to find the best match. So there's a little bit of working memory there too, juggling all of those symbols and trying to find the matching one. But really, this is about reaction time. It's about visual processing speed. And that is Kabammm in a nutshell. Visual processing speed, little bit of working memory, works with kids age 7 and older. I don't always get to talk about the games that work for kids who are younger than 8 years old. This one works with that age group, and it's fun to shout out those superhero words. All right, let's talk about another quick matching game from Foxmind, a game called Match Madness. This one has a little bit of more of a 3D element to it, but Match Madness is also a game that works with kids age 7 and older. This one, though, is for between 1 and 4 players, and you can play this one in about 20 minutes. Let's take a look at the components here for Match Madness. Each player in a game of Match Madness is going to have 5 of these pieces. These are 3-dimensional pieces that have some symbols on them. Each of these blocks has different symbols on every side. So you've got 2 symbols on each side of these little rectangles here. That's what I meant when I was talking about the three-dimensional elements. What happens in a game of Match Madness is that you're going to flip one of these puzzle cards, and there are a ton of them of varying difficulty. Some of them get a little bit bigger. And then you're going to race with your opponents to try and be the first one to finish this puzzle. Now, this is not easy to do because you've got 8 different symbols on each of these pieces. And just like with Kabammm, it's a race. So everyone is playing at the same time, trying to be the first one to be able to claim this puzzle. This is another visual processing speed game. You are quickly matching the symbols on each of these cubes. What's maybe a little bit different from Kabammm is that there is more of a visual memory aspect to it. Why is it visual memory? Because if you continue to play this game, eventually you're going to learn, hopefully, if your visual memory is good, you'll learn maybe the gist, maybe you won't remember it exactly, but you'll start to remember which pairs of symbols are on each of these rectangles. They're numbered like this, and everyone has the same pieces, so you're working from the same set. It's not like you're going to have a number 5 that has a different combination of symbols on it. That means that if you can remember, oh, I know that there's 2 green ones on the number 5 rectangle, that's the one that you're going to reach for when you're making the puzzle, if you've got 2 green ones in a row. Of course, this puzzle doesn't have 2 green ones. It does have 2 blue ones, though, and somewhere around here is going to be a rectangle that has 2 blue pieces. Can I find it right now? I've played this game a few times. I can't. I haven't memorized them yet. The idea of the basic game of Match Madness is to collect the most puzzles. You're going to work your way through that deck. Now, there are more complicated variations in the rules where more difficult puzzles are worth more points, but I think just at its base, quick matching, you're just trying to be the first one to build that puzzle, and then you double check to make sure that your answer is right, and if it is correct, you win the puzzle. Let's see if I can build this one, and I'll show you what it looks like at the end. Through the power of editing, I've built this puzzle extra quickly, so I probably would have won, but if you saw me do it in real time, there's no way I'm going to race my kids at this game. And there you have it. 2 rapid matching games from Foxmine. Thanks again to Foxmine for sending me these games. Age 7 and up, so you can play it with kids as young as grade 2. And it's all about rapid symbol matching. As usual, if you have any questions or if you have any suggestions, you can find me at brian@brainsongames.ca. Brainsongames.ca is the website. That's where you'll find previous episodes, and future episodes will be posted there too. Brains on Games is the Twitter handle and the Instagram feed and the Facebook page, so we're all over the place. And if you enjoyed this video and you'd like to be notified of future ones, you can head on over to YouTube and click that subscribe button. Thanks for joining me today, and hopefully I'll see you next time.